Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dateline Drought.com as we join you on this Sunday evening. Our coverage here presented by Genuity Drought Guard Hybrids. Well, we've started off this trading week of the futures market on a little bit lower note, with wheat down about 2 to 11 cents a bushel, corn off about 3 to 9, soybeans not far into the trading session, down about 16 to 19. Perhaps some of that is based on the belief that while there will be continued deterioration of the crops, indicated in the weekly crop bulletins after this Monday session, that maybe the deterioration is slowing a bit in soybeans because of recent rains. I'll talk a little more about that coming up in just a moment. I thought I'd share with you in this visit some statistics about crop insurance, since it is so much in the news and on the minds of producers and will continue to be over the next few days. Did you know there are just 16 companies in the United States that are designated as crop insurance providers under that standard reinsurance agreement between those companies and the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Risk Management Agency? Of those 16, 4, by the way, are headquartered in Illinois, 3 are headquartered in Iowa, 3 are headquartered in the state of Kansas. Others have their base of operations in places like Ohio and California and Texas. We are told there are 5,000 crop insurance adjusters in the United States who will be out working the crops this year. 5,000. Now, we're not sure how that compares with a year ago, but we have been hearing from the field that, as you can imagine, those adjusters are not all created equal, that some have been struggling to get their arms around the losses already visible out there in the fields. Now, we're told that there is additional training that is taking place. There'll be 2,000 of those getting some training this summer. In fact, we understand there is a training session this week, and some of this training will deal specifically with this drought of 2012. A crop insurance adjuster can cover about 1,200 acres in a day, I'm told. Now, of course, their day must include travel from one field to another, but they can get over about 1,200 acres. Crop insurance companies have had a pretty good run of profitability here. I'm told that this 2-year period we're in right now, last year and this year, is probably the worst over the past 30 years. But they really had no significant losses between 1993 and 2010, so about 17 years of pretty good profitability. The indemnified losses last year were just shy of $11 billion, $10.7 billion altogether. Now, we've heard some estimates that the losses this year may be 3 times that. We know one agriculture economist has been saying it might be close to $30 billion altogether. Others are saying that might be a conservative number. Now, through the 16th of July, the indemnities on claims thus far totaled $446 million. That's running about twice as much as a year ago. Crop insurance has its roots way back in 1938. Did you know that? Coming out of the Dust Bowl era was when crop insurance was set up at the USDA. The risk management agency that manages the crop insurance for the USDA these days has its roots much more recently. It was set up in 1996, so the risk management agency, RMA as it is often called, has about 500 employees altogether at the USDA. There was a cattle on feed report that came out going into the weekend, and it indicated the placements of cattle into the feedlots were down a little more than expected. There was a Reuters survey prior to release of the report showing placements would be down about 1.4%, and the report actually showed the placements were down about 2%, as apparently the operators were opting in the face of higher grain prices to keep those animals out on pasture a little bit longer. Well, the weekly crop bulletins will be closely watched. We've seen those declines in the past couple of weeks of about 8 to 9 percentage points in the good to excellent category. They are thinking that the soybeans will continue to show a decline in condition, but maybe down only about 3 to 5 percentage points in that category, good to excellent. I would simply say there were analysts last week saying the same thing, and the declines were in fact worse than expected. There is some belief that these rains have been improving the situation in the bean fields, at least stopping the decline in the condition out there, and really, in some instances, actually improving the beans. I would simply say, yes, I have heard that, and I have also seen that, well, the windshield inspection, where it appears those beans have been improved dramatically by the rains that have occurred. But I would also hasten to point out, as many of you have pointed out to me, that the rains have been quite spotty, that many fields have been missed altogether by significant rains. Well, throughout the week, we'll continue to update you here. Greg Solier, our This Week in Agribusiness agriculture meteorologist, will be in here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings. And, of course, Bryce Knorr will be here to update you from Farm Futures. We hope you'll join us often at DatelineDrought.com, brought to you by Genuity Drought Guard Hybrids. I'm Max Armstrong, hoping you have a great week.